Wednesday, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Transportation and Logistics podcast, powered by Atlanta Dispatch and Humblebee Enterprises. I'm very excited to be here with a very special guest, one of America's favorite owner operators. We got Larry, aka L Boogie. And before we begin, I did want to just say thank you, God. Thank you for keeping the pipes in my house intact. Over the weekend there was pipe-mageddon, pipe-mageddon in Atlanta, and everywhere I looked, there were pipes that burst due to the weather. It was cold, that record storm that came across America. It definitely affected Atlanta. So I'm just really praying for the people that were, personally affected. As it pertains to my house, everything was good. So I'm just very, very grateful. My gym, however, has been closed all week. They don't have any water right now, so that's been challenging for me because I've been running, man. I've been getting in there every day, or at least 5 times a week. I've been fortunate enough to be able to run about 2 to 3 miles a day. So it's been interesting not being able to go to the gym to take care of that, and way too cold to do it outside. So we'll see. But without any further ado, what's up, Larry? Look, matter of fact, Larry, without
Hey,
if I'm not tripping, you actually have been participating in some running events recently, right?
yes, I did. Yep, I did, man. I did a triathlon, plus I did a marathon. No, I did a 5K.
No, you getting there though, man. You getting there. I'm definitely working towards it. How did you get into that a triathlon? First off, congratulations, because that's a lot that goes into that. Matter of fact, what is a triathlon?
Yeah, well, a triathlon is where you swim for a certain distance, and then you ride your bike for a certain distance, and then you run for a certain distance.
And how did you
Yeah,
get into that?
yeah. So basically, man, it's something I've been wanting to do for a while, and I was like, man, it's one of those sports right there where it's different, where everybody that's in there, like, it costs money to participate in the sport. Like, you
Right.
gotta buy a bicycle, you gotta go to the gym, and you gotta go to the gym and swim or something like that, or swim at your house. But everybody, I said, I'm gonna do something that most people ain't doing, something that you gotta put some money into. And I know that with me doing that, guess what? I know I'm gonna be running into certain people that's serious, because if you, first of all, to just do one event and put money into it is one thing, but to do three events in one and put money into that and be like focused on doing that, I ain't never seen nobody with a poverty mindset do a triathlon ever.
Boom. No,
You
I
see what I'm
love
saying?
that. I didn't think about the mentality like that, but the way that you just summed that up, no, I think that's very insightful, brother.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I started doing it. Because nobody who does triathlons is selling dope. Nobody who does triathlons is talking about, oh man, I don't know if I can make it today. No, you're gonna make it just cause you just paid $1,000 to do an Ironman. Like, why you gonna pay money to do something that you can just go outside and do naturally? You know what I'm saying? So, everybody who's in doing triathlons, I ain't never seen nobody with a negative mindset doing a triathlon.
Oh
You know?
man, I love that. I love it. I mean, to be honest, I got into running recently. This ain't something that's been natural to me. I mean, I ran track in high school, but that wasn't me trying to do it beyond that. It was just for something to do. But back in September, I had a chance to run my very first 5K, and I've kind of been hooked since, man. And
Yeah.
I had an opportunity to run the ATL 5K, and if you haven't done that, I would encourage you to do that next year. That's the mayor's 5K. You get to run on one of the runways at the airport, which was kind of cool. I can't even lie.
Yeah.
But after doing that, I had a chance to walk back to the shuttles with the winner from the women's 60 and over division. So this is a
Yeah.
72-year-old lady who kind of let me know that she had been running marathons across the world like her whole life, and it kind of just opened my eyes to like there's so much more that can be done when you commit to things like this. So the same way that you just said you never seen a poverty mindset with people who are participating in triathlons, that was kind of like the eye opener for me, that experience. But at the end of the day, no, I think that's great. I appreciate you for even sharing that because that just opened me up a little bit more.
Yeah, man. And let me tell you what. So I started doing it right. And so when I started doing when I did that first, and I said, you know what? Oh, it's on and popping from here. Like I'm about to start taking swim classes. I'm about to start taking running classes. Because you can always do more. You can always be a part of more. I'm about to start taking cycling classes and start cycling with these people. I mean, cause man, if you pay, like most of these people got bicycles, man, that's like $5,000 and up. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? Like when you're talking to them, they're like, "Yeah, man, I just went and got the new 2022 Cervelo or 2022 bicycle or whatever, and it's like $12,000 for a bicycle." Boy, I grew up on a Huffy. What you talking about $12,000 for a bicycle?
Right.
Shoot,
I hear you. I was happy when my mother got me the mongoose. You know
yeah,
what
for real.
I mean? Yeah.
And,
No,
and
good, man.
another reason I do it too, man, is because like when I first got into it, I said, you know what, man, this right here is gonna be. See, I'm driving trucks. I didn't have that much time. I wanted to train more. I couldn't train more. Well, I'm gonna tell you this. I wanted to train more, but I wasn't dedicated in that much to train. But I got the job done. And so I said, you know what? If I can do this right here, I know somebody else can do it. And so I know the truck drivers can do it. So with me doing this, guess what? I'm gonna be doing this for like to inspire the trucking community because man, the trucking community is obese, overweight, and got heart disease, diabetes, high blood pressure, and everything else going on. And so if I can do this and bring some awareness and shine some light on some trucking companies, or I mean, shine some light on some truck drivers who feel like they can't do anything or feel like they can't get out the truck and move around and do something. Like I wasn't even working out every day. But I was doing something. I was walking or I was running or and then when I come home, like I came home for like every week for like 3 weeks straight. I mean for like 3 months straight, and I went swimming probably 4 times at the YMCA.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
Mm-hmm.
but I took my bike on the truck with me. Like if you see on some of my videos, I got my bike in the truck with me. I ain't got it with me right now, but I had my bike in the truck with me, and I would ride my bike. Like I'd be in Pennsylvania, I'd be in Iowa, I'd be in Missouri, Mississippi, Texas. I ride my bike anywhere. You see what I'm
Oh, that's
saying?
up. I mean, you got different type of experiences. A lot of truck drivers they've seen the open road, they've seen a lot of places in their truck, but they haven't been riding their bike. To see those same sights. So that's what's up, brother.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, no, but I'm happy that you were able to use your platform to share that to encourage truck drivers to get out there and be active. I mean, I was raised by a truck driver, and he's still driving, and it's never been the most pressing thing to stay on top of his health. It's still now, now he's turned the tide. He's doing things better, a little bit different. But I'm happy that you're where you're at, and you're using your platform to encourage people to go ahead and take advantage of time, because there's nothing like the present to change your situation. And
right.
while we're here, how did you get into trucking?
Well, first of all, I got into trucking back in 2007. I needed some money, and
Right.
I needed a job, and I couldn't find no job, and I was like, man, shoot, man, I gotta find me something. So, but and I was walking around, and just it seemed like these people were just coming to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, it's like I would I would meet up with somebody, and while I meet up with somebody, they're like, yeah, man, I drive trucks. And then you go to their house, like I knew some people who drove trucks. You go to their house, they got all these adult toys, like they got four wheelers and swimming pools, and they got cars and all kind of stuff. I was
Right.
talking to different people. They got trailers and land and all kind of stuff, and they got a whole bunch of stuff that's paid off. And I'm like, what in the world? Y'all did all this from driving trucks? So it piqued my interest. I said, man, I need to get out here and get on the road. And so December of 2007 is when I started driving trucks. And so I got in it because I wanted to, you know, make some money. But it was hard for me to get in it, but because, I kept missing a whole bunch of stuff. December of 2007, my son turned 1 years old, and
Mm-hmm.
I had went to trucking school. I live in Georgia, and I went to trucking school in Salt Lake City, Utah. And the trucking
Man.
school was 3 weeks long, but we had to add a week on there because it was a snowstorm and we couldn't do nothing. And so it was basically 4 weeks that I was in Salt Lake City. I missed my son's first birthday. I missed him his first steps. I got it on video, but it ain't the same thing. So I missed his first steps. I missed a whole bunch of stuff, and man, I was gone from December the 8th all the way to February the 2nd. That's how
Man.
long I was gone. Yep, and
Man.
learning how to drive a truck, man. And then, shoot, from there, I was a company driver several years, and I was in and out of the trucking industry because I was in the food service industry as well. So I had concession stands, restaurants, different stuff like that. So in between time of me driving, and so yeah, that's how I got into it, man.
Okay. Well, I mean, to be honest, you kind of just mentioned a whole bunch. I mean, one, sacrifice. I mean, that's definitely what, people got to understand about drivers and
Yeah,
why they command respect. You know what I mean? There's a
yeah,
lot of sacrificing going on to afford people their everyday liberties and luxuries and things that, they don't really take account as to how they were able to get those. And if you boil it down to it, 9 times out of 10, the reason why they have it in their hand, in their possession, is because of a truck driver. So
yeah.
that's the first thing I definitely want to say. And then you kind of alluded to just other entrepreneurial endeavors. Like, how do you feel like you got that bug in you to say that I want to do all these different things? Because I mean, I can understand being a truck driver. You see nice, flashy things from your peers, but you said catering, restaurants, food service. How'd you get into that?
Well, I'm gonna tell you what. To be honest with you, I always had the entrepreneurial bug. I seen the entrepreneurial bug when I was like 6 years old. My dad used to work for this rich man, probably one of the richest men um in the city where I stayed at. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and he would come around, and man, we lived in a duplex. Man, this duplex is probably the size of a driver's lounge. I mean, it's man, it was so small. It was a one bedroom. It was me, my brother, my mama, and my daddy. And
Mm-hmm.
so we lived in this duplex. We had the living room, the bedroom, a small kitchen, and a bathroom. It was a shotgun house. And man, and he would pull up to the house in like these luxurious cars, and I would be like, man, like dang, like I want a car like that. I want something like that right there, you know. And then turn around and you go to his house because we have to go pick my dad up. And so when we go pick my dad up from his house, man, this dude, one half of his garage is bigger than our whole house that we were staying in. And
Mm.
it was like, dang, man. And so from there, anything I was introduced to that was money wise, like illegal, like that green and mess with that white girl. I was all over it. I started that when I was 8 years old. But fast forward to the uh to doing
the,
the like
the
concession
legit.
stand stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
the legit stuff. The legit stuff was like in that was in high school. My senior year in high school, between the time I had graduated and went to college, I used to drive a ice cream truck for this guy. And man, it just wasn't an ice cream truck. Man, I was selling ice cream. I was selling Black and Miles. I was selling them Fat Albert jeans. You remember them Fat Albert jeans? I
Wait,
was
Fat
selling,
Farm Cheese?
yeah, Fat Farm jeans. Yeah, selling Newports out the back and everything. Man, but by this time I had changed my life, so I wasn't selling nothing illegal. I was just selling ice cream, Fat Farm, and Newports, and
I feel you. And no, I ain't mad at you. I mean, that had to make you feel good. And
Yeah,
you're the funny thing is, you're as far as your story sounds, to where you are right now. A lot of the people that I've interviewed, they had the ability to kind of start selling stuff or having small services that they were offering in their teenage years, and that kind of kicked off a different way of thinking for the rest of their life. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I do think that's a blessing for people to have. I mean, I know that this right here is way off topic, but how do you feel like you're going to be able to instill that type of mentality in your son? I don't know if you know, but I just joined the dad gang, so I'm interested in this type of
Oh,
stuff.
congratulations, man!
Thank you,
Congratulations.
thank you, thank you.
Yeah, so for me and my son, man, I always tell my son, hey, look, you got two options. You can go through this life and listen to everybody else, or you can go through this life and listen to me. Okay? And for because you listen to me, we gonna listen. I'm gonna be listening to the Lord. I'm gonna be listening to the scriptures. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you, hey, look, you need to do this or you don't need to do this. You know what I'm saying? Until you fully develop your relationship with God, you need to be listening to me. And so it's your choice, but you can choose to throw your life away. You know, so right now, what I just choose to do because he is a teenager, I just choose to instill those values in him. You know, and keep a clear line of communication open, so that if something is going on, if something is wrong, or if he does have a concern, he can come to me, talk to me. We can FaceTime. We can do whatever. Um, so that he can feel like, hey, look, I'm with you because he knows a lot of my story, and he knows that hey, I made a whole bunch of bad decisions that landed me in some unfruitful places. You know, because when I like he's already way better than me. Cause man, when I was in sixth grade, I was on probation. I had two felonies already. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? I was
yeah,
on my way down the road, so
yeah.
I always tell him, dude, I done did that, and it ain't what you want to do. You know what I'm saying? And so he has his head on straight. Um, um, he more focused than I ever was at his age. You know, I ain't even
Okay.
get that focused till I was in my 20s. This joker focused, and he won't even, and he'll listen. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell him, I say, hey, you don't need to eat no, you don't need to eat no candy, and we'll go out to eat 2 weeks later, and we'll be like, hey man, you want some candy or something? You want some candy at the store? Uh, no, I thought you told me not to eat no candy. What?
Mm,
Brother, I was talking about today, man. Go on back. What in the world you talking about? Yeah, but
right.
anyway, yeah, he listens. Yeah,
Okay.
so you just gotta be that example for him, you know.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that. I truly do, man. And all right. So to come back, to reel it back in. All right. We
Yeah.
talked about how you got in trucking. We then went to your entrepreneurial side. Currently, you are an owner operator, right?
Yeah, yeah. I'm leased on with a company. So I have a truck I leased on with a company. I don't have my own authority. But I am owner operator. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you are an exclusively leased on owner operator that leverages somebody else's authority. Do you feel like that makes it, easier in this market to be leased on to somebody?
I do, man. I do because one of the things that I do is I teach company drivers how to make that transition from a company driver to an owner operator. And I tell people don't try to go fast, keep it in steps, and make sure that you have the knowledge and the expertise, whatever you need, and the money, the capital to be able to go out there and have your own authority. Because when you got your own authority, guess what? You have to do everything. Okay. Now I always tell people like this right here, you can either do everything yourself, and you can do your IFTA, you can do all of your registration, your IRP, you can do all of that stuff, your insurance, and all of your certifications that you need and stuff to ride through different states and stuff. You can choose to do that right there yourself and be tired or whatever, or you can choose to get somebody to do it for you. If you
Right.
get somebody to do it for you, guess what? You're gonna have to pay them as well. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
For me, what I think the benefit is that I'm the type of person that I don't like to do a lot of stuff. I got the ideas, but I don't want to do the stuff. Okay, so I outsource a lot of stuff. So for me, it works well for me because I'm able to. I got the truck. I'm able to use their trailer, and I get a certain percentage, you see what I'm saying, from
Right.
that. And guess what? At the end of the day, I'm able to utilize their fuel surcharge that they got, which is amazing. You see what I'm saying? And so if I make $6,000, I'm almost taking home about that much too, especially when the prices go up. So when the prices go up on fuel, guess what? That's more money I get to keep. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Okay, so with that fuel surcharge, are you saying that as a leased on, as an exclusively leased on owner operator, the majority of that was absorbed by the company that you're leased onto, so you didn't really feel that price hike like a lot of other owner operators?
I did feel the price hike, but one of the things is too is I have it's a certain type of freight that I haul that everybody else ain't hauling. You see what I'm saying? And so when everybody else is scrambling for crumbs, guess what? I got me a load that's I'm still able to kick out $3,000 for a load. You see what I'm saying?
Okay, what is the secret, or are you able to talk about
I
it?
am able to talk about it. So I'm in alliance with NATO, and we have an agreement. No, I'm just playing. No, no, man, I haul hazmat. Okay, I
Okay.
haul hazmat, and with hauling hazmat, I haul hazmat waste. Okay, with hauling hazmat waste,
Mm,
they have these 10-day yards, and with these 10-day yards that they have, one of the things that you're able to do is you're able to take freight from one place to another place. Whether you take it from one 10-day yard to the other 10-day yard, guess what? That freight has to be moved every 10 days, and that's all over the country if you have a 10-day yard waste facility in the hazardous community. Okay, I always say that that's the evergreen freight that I like to talk about. Also,
right.
there's another level above me that makes way more money than I make. I mean, it was in August, and I talked to a guy. Man, this guy was at 229,000 in August, the beginning of August.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, he was at 229,000 already. You know, I was sitting at 100 and what was I sitting at? I think I was sitting at 190,000 at that time. You know, but I was like, man, this, like, dude is like really making some money over there. But he's hauling hazardous chemicals in a tanker.
Okay. Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, so he's
So
hauling
that's
that
just
right
that's
there.
just the difference right there.
Yeah,
Is to say a tanker hazmat versus you doing it in a drive-in.
yeah, I'm doing it in a drive in.
Okay. I mean,
But
so what's the
it's
levels?
other. Go ahead.
I was about to say, what's the levels to get to that? I mean,
Well, all you got to do is have those. You got you got to have those relationships first of all. You got to know which companies to go to. You got to know who's gonna be paying that. That good money like that. Um, Also, you just got to have. Just got to have your hazmat or your tanker endorsement
right, right, right,
and your tanker endorsement because it's some of the stuff that I haul. It may be hazardous waste, but it may not be in a tanker, but it may be in uh one of those uh one of those big tubs that they put it in and it's liquid. And you got to have your tanker endorsement to haul it, and you got to have your hazardous uh endorsement to be able to haul that as well.
no,
But
I feel it.
if you was going up the ladder, you know what I'm saying, like people that's hauling that oversized freight and stuff like that, especially heavy haul, you hauling that RGN and stuff like that, where they shutting down the highway, you got two lanes. The bigger it is, the more money it pays. And then you
Right,
got like that secret stuff, like that AA and E, ammunitions, alcohol, ammunition, and or something,
right.
ammunition and explosives or something like that. That stuff right there, people that haul that stuff right there, man. Hey, when they haul that, you done built some relationships. But I think it's like a year process for them to go ahead and vet you and all kind of stuff because you get security clearance and stuff. Plus, at the same time, they gonna check your credit. They gonna check everything, man, to make
No,
sure
that
that
makes
you're
sense.
able to haul that stuff. But
Yeah,
they
no,
make
it
a lot of
definitely makes
money.
sense. Right. No, I feel it. So look, with you, I know that it's a little bit different with you hauling hazmat, right?
Yeah.
But let's just talk about your experience as a whole. Like, with the rise of independent dispatch services, do you feel like it has ever worked for somebody in your position, someone who's exclusively leased on to a company, to seek independent dispatcher to book them loads. Like, does that ever work?
Not for me because because I'm leased on to a company and they have their own dispatchers. They haul off their own load board, different things like that. Um, but for somebody like when I was with, let's say like when I was with Landstar, I was with Landstar for 3 years. When I was with Landstar, like some of the dispatchers, like you have to dispatch yourself, but you can get somebody to dispatch for you if you find somebody and they want to dispatch or
Right.
whatever. I think it can be beneficial because I found out like with my first week when I was at Landstar, I had somebody dispatch me because I was like, man, I need to get used to this load board. So
Mm-hmm.
dude charged me $100. Uh, that was in 2017. He charged me $100 for that week, and he dispatched me, and it was pretty good. But I've learned how to
Okay.
do my own stuff. But what I've learned how to do is um, I'd rather go directly to the shipper. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Right. Right.
And so
Right.
if I go directly to the shipper, I don't need a dispatcher. I don't even need a broker.
Right. And but you can do that being leased on.
Yeah, I could do. See, yeah, I could do that being leased on because if I go to someone, let's say like if you have a company and your company is called Jorie's Transport or something like that, and let's say you're hauling computers. I mean that you got computers or whatever, and you're the shipper. If I come to you and say, "Hey, Jorie, uh, uh, man, I would love to haul freight right here. Like, how much are you paying?" And let's say you paying like $3.50 a mile to go from Atlanta to Dallas every day, just Atlanta to Dallas, and then let's say you got another warehouse out in Dallas, and you bring parts or something back to you in Atlanta. Okay, so if I did that right there, man, I can go to the people that I'm leased up under, and tell them, hey, look, I got this guy right here. He got some freight coming from right here. They'll sign that up for me, and I can haul that just like that. And so
Okay.
I can build relationships on the side, haul that freight through them. You see what I'm saying? Because guess what they got? Because a lot of people, when you go to certain places, that's why I tell truck drivers it's imperative that you know how to talk. It's imperative that you know understand what you're doing, and that that you're friendly and that you know your numbers and stuff like that. Because you can walk up to a place and people gonna ask you, uh, "Hey man, how many trucks you got?" Because if you walk up there and it look like it's just you, guess what? People gonna think, "Oh man, you can't handle this right here. You don't even have the capacity." When
Right.
really you do have the capacity. Because if anybody asks me, "Hey, can you handle this right here?" Yeah, I can handle it. Well, how many trucks you got? Well, I got a capacity of 250.
Right. 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 You're thinking like a businessman versus just an individual.
Yes, you want me to tell you why I got the capacity of 250? Because I got 200 trucks. If I said I had 300, if I got the capacity of 300, guess what? I know a guy right now with 25 trucks. I know somebody else with 20 trucks. I know somebody else with 5 trucks.
Right. Right.
You
Right.
see
No,
what I'm saying?
I definitely hear you. I don't think that's I don't think that's the average person's mentality, the way that they see opportunities. To be honest, at certain
Yeah.
points of my life, I wasn't even there. You know what I mean? But now I understand. No matter what the challenge in front of me is, you can definitely work through it. You know what I mean? There's always going to be a way to accomplish it. It's just, are you thinking like that just yet? So no, I appreciate that. I appreciate you sharing that. Is there a situation you feel like right now that would ever make you, inclined to be a company driver again versus an owner operator?
Uh, let's see. Probably not, man. If I was, yeah, because I'm not in the business of making a leverage, making a like a lateral move or going back, taking some back steps.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I would love to like if I was gonna do something, man, I'm going to the. If I'm gonna do something, I'm either gonna get another truck, get some more trucks, or I'm coming out the game completely and putting somebody else in a truck.
No, I feel you. No, I feel you. Look, I mean, maybe you know a little bit better than me, but like, why is Walmart considered like one of those places that's like a driver's paradise?
Okay, I tell you why. First of all, when you go to Walmart, you got to drink the Kool-Aid. Okay, when you start off at Walmart, you either gonna start on you're gonna have to work weekends. Okay, but they got so many incentives that, like, as a driver, I mean, you're a company driver making like 90 something $1,000
Right,
base.
right.
Okay, but they got so many incentives, like different things that you could do. Like when I was at Landstar, I was on a Walmart account, and so I used to go to Walmart every day. I was on that account for like 6, 7 months, 8 months, something like that. Yeah, no, it was 9 months. I was on that account for 9 months, dude. And
Mm-hmm.
while I was over there, I heard a lot of talk. I heard a lot of things. They tried to recruit me to come over there, and I'm like, no, I'm good over here. You know what I'm saying? But it's other people who done been an owner operator, you know, and they done been now. Oh, you know what? I have to go back. I really have to go back because you asked me, is it anything that will? And I just thought about it when I was thinking about this because it was a few guys that was over there that used to own trucks. Okay, they done had 2 and 3 trucks. Some of them had 5 trucks, and they made their money. They paid their house off. Now they're a company driver. You see what I'm saying?
Right, right. No,
And
I feel.
so if and they got tired of all the breakdowns and stuff like that. Now, if I was gonna do something, I'd probably go over there and do something like that right there. But I like my time too much. You know what I'm saying? I like to be able to call off or be off when I want to be off. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like if I need, cause I got so much stuff going on. If somebody asked me to, hey, look, we need you to come play drums for a week on tour or something, like, hey, look, I want to be able to do that. If somebody asked me, hey, look, we need you to come host an event or we need you to come do this or do that, I want to be able to do that. You know. But fast forward to what we were just talking about, I think it's a driver's paradise because they have so many incentives and so many perks. You see what I'm saying? Over there as being just a company driver. Like you go to if you're in the sleeper berth, if you're waiting on somebody, if waiting to get unloaded, it's another charge, another fee, another thing you can add on to that, and your check just add up, man. It's ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? And so I know a lot of cats over there that got their own property. I mean, they got their own land, they farm and stuff like that right there, and they're a truck driver for Walmart.
right, right, right. No, I feel it. I feel it, man.
Yeah,
Look, at this point, you're definitely known for way more than driving. Okay, way
yeah.
more than driving. You're even a published author. I mean, how did you? I know we kind of talked about this a little bit, but how did you know that you can do more than just drive? You know what I mean? How did you? And that just drive is just air quotes because people, like I said, drivers are superheroes to the American society, whether they know it or not. So like for you, how did you decide that you're not just gonna stick to driving? Like you plan, like 2007 was here. You said that I need to do a little bit more. I like why.
Well, I've always been doing a whole bunch of stuff at the same time,
Mm,
because like like even when I started driving, I was driving, and then when I would come home, I was the drummer at church. You see what I'm
mm,
saying? And so, like, fast forward to 2010, like, or 2011, I'm driving, I'm the drummer, I'm the social media guy, I'm the evangelist, I'm the outreach leader. So I'm always doing a whole bunch of stuff. You see what I'm saying? And
mm,
so I've always just, whether I'm driving or whatever it is I'm doing, people have always just called on me, and I've always been just, um, somebody who's doing something. You
right.
know. And
Okay.
so multiple things. That's kind of like back in like 2000 and um 2007. Well, like when I started driving, no 2008. When I started driving, I came up with the name Highway Hustling. I just ain't put nothing out yet because I'm always hustling. I'm hustling on these streets, man. I'm out here in these streets, man. I'm ready to get his street life up, cuz. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so and I also got a podcast get ready to come out too called Highway Hustling. And
Okay.
man, yeah, and so basically what we're gonna be talking about is just talking about like the different hustlers and stuff like that that's on the highway. And like my merch, I sell my merch to people who drive trucks, people who drive taxis, whatever work you do on the highway. If you're a drug trafficker, that's you too. No, I'm just playing.
Uh,
No, not them. But listen, but all the people who like if you work on the highway, if you're a construction worker, UPS guy, um, if you and then the people who's like all the truck drivers and stuff like that. Like I want to be able to interview the truck drivers and not only the all the truck drivers who got a side gig going on because man you'll be amazed at how many truck drivers out here who are musicians who know how to play instruments who got I mean I used to take my drum set on the truck with me. You see what I'm saying? Like it's
yeah.
other people who know how to sing. It's other people who know how to cook. Like I know a dude right now. He's a chef. He be he be cooking for like professionals and stuff. He'll pull his big rig up. He got his cooking stuff up there on top on his top bunk, and he's cooking for these celebrities and stuff like these rappers and stuff like that. And it's like, man, like, dude, you like you doing it, but it's a
Right.
lot of people out there who has those talents and stuff like that. And so we're gonna be interviewing all the different people who's doing the highway hustling, who's hustling while they on the highway. Whether you're a photographer, a videographer, a content creator, if you tap dance, and I know other people who got OnlyFans, but we ain't gonna talk about that.
Uh,
Hey, look, side note, let me tell you. Let me tell you, when the PPP loans and stuff first hit, right?
yep.
Like I'm looking, I'm like, man, like you know, and prices of fuel and had went prices of fuel going up, truck prices going up. I see somebody go out and get a brand new truck. I'm like, I ain't seen them, they talk about everything else. I ain't seen them complain about the fuel not one time. I ain't seen them complain about the prices of truck prices or anything. Like they just on there, they living their best life. Boy, come to find out they got an OnlyFans page. No wonder you ain't worried about it, cause you making money over here.
Yeah, it's like
He can't make it
Amazon.
$20,000 a month.
That's just like Amazon. They making all this other money. They don't have to worry about the
Yeah,
expenses of moving freight for such a low price. No, I definitely hear you, brother. I definitely hear you. So is the key basically having multiple hustles? Because I wanted to ask this of you. For the drivers and maybe even other folks in the supply chain, like maybe that dock worker, maybe that yard jockey. Like, is there a way that they can also maximize their current positions to like garner some of those sponsorships and things that you've been able to uh, get? Maybe build additional sources of income. Like, is it just about the individual person, or is there any specific advice that you feel like you can provide?
yeah, man. I always tell people, whatever you do, don't ever have all your eggs in one basket. You see what
Mm-hmm.
I'm saying? Like you never want to have all your eggs in one basket. You want to strive to do something else. Whether if you I don't know if you're being a content creator, man, that's easy. And I tell people all the time, like, man, I'm a content creator. I make people fall in love with me. Then after I fall in love with you, I can sell you anything. You know what I'm saying? And look right in front of you. It's right in front of you every day. Like look at Kanye West. Kanye West, you like anybody else who's walking down the street, who's doing the things and saying the things that Kanye West says, you'd be like, man, what in the world is this dude talking about? You see what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? But since he got that stardom on there, guess what? You're gonna listen to what what he say, and you're gonna be like, oh man, he's a genius. Which that could be true, but at the same time, he done made people fall in love with him, and with him making people fall in love with him, he could put out anything and people gonna buy it. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm gonna tell you the truth, man. Back in 1999, if I would have wore them Yeezys, brother, I would have got cracked on from the time I stepped out the house. You know what I'm saying? Like some of them clothes, man, I would have got cracked on. I'd be like, is Larry a bum or what? Like, who is this guy? You know what I'm saying? I would have got cracked out. I would have had low self-esteem, you know, because I'm coming out the house looking like a painter. I'm coming out the house looking like a homeless guy. Now that stuff is, now
Right,
that's, you
100%,
know,
brother.
he take it, and I bet he got people over there just say, put some holes right here. Y'all just take the shirt from Kmart or Walmart and just take some seals and just put some holes in it, slap a name tag on it, and we're going to sell it for $199. And you
Man.
just got it for 50 cents.
No, I hear you, brother. I hear you. The funny thing is, um, that same exact thing. Jay, was it Payless? Everybody know Payless. Payless
Mm-hmm.
took their exact same shoes and put it into one of those high end stores and sold it, for maybe $1,000 a shoe, and then got all these consumers to, record themselves talking about the quality of the shoe, and they were big up in it. You know what I mean? Not knowing
Yeah.
that it was Payless shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just Payless shoes. So I mean, you're right. It is about perception. So okay, cool. I'll definitely take that advice. And I've
Yeah. I mean,
personally.
but
Oh, go ahead, brother.
yeah, and then too, man, like you, like with all the talents that people have, like I always tell people, be you. You don't have to be nobody else. All you have to be is you have to be yourself. If you're walking around, you're trying to be somebody else. Guess what? You ain't gonna make no money and make that money consistently at all. You see what I'm saying? But if you're you, like me, every video that you see, that's me. I'm a natural nutcase. You see what I'm saying? People been telling me I need to check since I was 2 years old. You know what I'm saying? And
Hey,
so,
I ain't gonna lie. I do got a favorite video, man. I've seen
oh,
you
you do?
post it. It cracks me up every time I see
Yeah. What
it.
is it? What is it?
It's the video where you're like, you pick up the phone. You're like, oh, they're like, what you doing? I'm just chilling, watching a movie.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
They're like, I thought you were driving. You're like, I am. So that's a funny video, brother. That's a funny video. So,
Yeah, that's one of them things where if you know, you know. You know, I'm
right,
not saying I do that. I wouldn't condone that. Be safe while you out here in these streets.
right.
But
That's
I'm just saying.
That's hilarious, man. But yeah, so I was gonna say that I personally have been at several conferences while you were an MC. You were hosting the Bad Boy. You were giving away, gifts and doing raffles and all that type of stuff from the companies that you have sponsorships with. Do you like? Is that stuff fun? Like, do you enjoy the conference life? And what was your very first experience like emceeing a conference?
Okay, so yes, that stuff is fun. That stuff is like it's amazing to me. I love it. I like it. I love it. I want some more of it. Okay. And you can also book me on my website, iamlarry.com. So, but man, I love that, man. Let me tell you. Let me tell you how that came about. People used to always say I was funny. I didn't believe it. Could you? Can you believe that? That's crazy. Because I was like, man, yeah, I don't want to get the big head. You know, I don't want to be like, yeah, he think he all that. You know what I'm saying? But I was
Right,
like, am I really funny? You know what I'm saying? And people would always say, man, you funny. And so at church, everything I do, it done started at church. Okay, so we had these conferences at church, these youth conferences and stuff like that. And so I'm putting the conferences together and stuff, and I'm looking for a MC and stuff, and I'm like, man, I gotta find me a dope MC, somebody who funny, somebody who off the chain, who gonna get the crowd riled up, stuff like that. And it was always hard to find an MC, so I found somebody, you know. And then
right.
one day, I had to MC something, brother. That thing was off the doggone chain.
Mm, okay.
Everybody was talking about it. You know what I'm saying? It was the same year that I was like in I think it was like 2014, 2013 or 14. It was the same year that like I told you, I be speaking and stuff. We go and have these outreach meetings and stuff like that, like these we call them park ministries and stuff, where we go to like communities or whatever and have a free concert and stuff like that, and and give people some good news, the gospel and stuff like that. So we was
Hmm.
doing that stuff, and my pastor didn't tell me that he called out. I mean that he wasn't gonna be there because even though I was the evangelist, guess what? This dude he would still always preach all the time. I would never preach. Like I was always on the drums, and he would always get the mic and do whatever. And
Right.
so, man, shoot, I had got so it started raining, sprinkling a little bit. I was like, well, I guess we can get ready to go because even though I am the evangelist, I didn't want to speak. You know what I'm saying? I've never been a type that want to speak. You know, and so shoot, I had got up there. I did my speak. I preached to the people like 10, 15 minutes. I did it my way, my style, and everything. People loved it. You know, it even had some people get instantly healed who was in the audience, and I was like, man, this right here, this is the move. And so ever since then, shoot, I've been emceeing events, and people would have asked me to come out, and I still get nervous. Even like people ask me to come out now. People can ask me to come out to an event. They got 20 people. Boy, in the back, I'm gonna be sweating bullets before I get up there. Cause I just be,
Right.
I'd be like, oh man, who, and it could be just 20 people there. It could be 20 people that's from kindergarten. I'd be like, man, I hope I knock it out the park because I want everybody to laugh. I want everybody to, you know, have some joy, be refreshed, be healed. Because the Bible says laughter is like medicine, and so I like to give people that gift of laughter and different things like that. So yeah, man, that's how I mean I love doing that. I love interacting with the crowd, and it just comes and all of that stuff that I do. It comes from just experience. It comes from me being growing up in church, having all going to all these different conferences and playing for them and stuff like that, and being a musician at all these different conferences, all these different places that I've been to, and you may have one person who do something like this, another person that do something like this. You be like, yeah, I'm gonna take that. That's mine. That's good as mine right there. Yeah.
Right, right, right. Now I love it, brother. I mean, do you feel like there's value for people attending conferences these days? Like, aside from networking, well, no, not aside from networking. I mean, in addition to the networking, do you feel like you would tell people if they had an opportunity that they need to get into the rooms?
Yeah, yeah. Man, I always tell people get into the rooms because the rooms is what to change your life. You know what I'm saying? Not the actual room, but the people that's in the room. You know what I'm saying? Like you may not agree with everything that's being said up there, but it's more than just one person that's up there speaking. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times when I done did my business and when I done did different stuff, it hadn't been with people that's been in the. It hadn't been with none of the speakers. It's been with people that's been in the audience that's wanting to learn. You see what I'm
Right,
saying? That think they have nothing to offer when they really do.
right, right. No, I
You
agree
see what
with
I'm saying?
I agree with you. Okay. Okay. So look, we've covered a lot of things so far. You got your CDL back in, let's just say 2008, early 2008, which means
Yeah,
that you've been pushing it now for a good little bit, brother. So
yeah.
you've been to your fair share of um, shippers, your fair share of receivers, and have you ever been in a spot where you were denied the ability to use the restroom
Oh man, yeah, that happened the other day, dude.
the
Boy,
other day?
yeah, the other day I thought I was about to explode. I went to the look, hey, brother, I got out the truck and got a truck and it's rain. It wasn't rain. It's misting outside, which is I think that's worse than the rain is. And so
Mm,
it's just misting outside. And I go to the thing and man, they got this thing. It's a big old warehouse, dude. I opened up the thing and they got a place in there like we going to go see some Bin Laden or something. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man, like who y'all think? What y'all think we in here to do? What y'all think we
right.
finna steal up in here? And so it's a place in there. You could probably put two like a one and a half king size beds in there. That's so you
Mm-hmm.
go in there and they got a gate. It's all gated and stuff from the top and everything. But you can look in there and see the bathroom is sitting right there. You see what I'm saying? And so they be like, "Oh no, you can't use that. You can't use the bathroom right there." What you mean, brother? I
Mm-hmm.
can't use the bathroom. Like it's right there. Like what you think I'm finna do in here? Like you
Right.
think I'm finna set the thing on fire? And so man, I done been denied to use the bathroom a few times. a few times, and a lot of sometimes they don't even have a porta potty out there, which I think that's inhumane to make somebody use the bathroom outside when you got a bathroom that's right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know if truckers are messing it up for everybody else, but like, man, it shouldn't be to the point to where like they kicking up, they won't let us use the bathroom, man. Like that's crazy to me.
Right.
And when you know, I have some strong words for them. You know, what I'm saying? Like I don't curse or nothing like that, but I be like, man, this is a bunch of malarkey, okay?
Right, right. Now I hear you, brother. I hear you, and I'm happy about this bill, this bipartisan bill that
Yeah,
is, going to be changing some things. I mean, the bill itself is saying that it's going to require retailers, warehouses, and other businesses to give truckers access to bathroom facilities when they are picking up cargo or making deliveries. It is not going to require businesses to construct new restrooms. It only requires that if a business has a restroom available to their customers or employees, truckers should have the same access. And kind of, similar when it comes to ports, it required the operators of ports and terminals to provide bathroom access to drayage drivers. So, it is crazy, man, to think about all of the things that truckers do for America, for the everyday person, but this is still a thing. So,
yeah.
that's a win. I feel like going into 2023, that it's finally been heard by the right people, and now some changes are happening.
Yeah, I mean it's crazy that you would go deliver all your household needs, all of your groceries. You'll deliver all this stuff for you. You won't let us over on the highway. You won't, you get in front of us and brake check us and put your brakes on and think we can stop on a dime. You won't let us use the bathroom. Like we could do all this stuff for you. We can bring your stuff on time, but you can't use that bathroom of ours. It's
Right,
like, man, it's kind of like it makes you like I didn't grow up during the civil rights era or whatever, or during the 70s, the 60s and 70s, like my dad and them did. But they remember when it was whites only, and stuff like that. And that's what it feels like, man.
right,
That's
right,
exactly what it feels like. Like, can't use the bathroom here. You got to
right.
go somewhere else. Go out there to the porta potty. What? Brother, you can
Yeah,
barely fit in that porta potty, and sometimes, man, you go. Hey, I tell you this, I'd rather use the porta potty in the wintertime than to use that joker in the summertime. Cause if you
yeah,
use that joker
100%.
in the summertime, brother,
Yeah, it's
hey,
bad, bro. It's bad.
ooh, it flies and stuff everywhere. Oh man, it feel like you're in the Okefenokee swamp or something, man. Hey,
Now, I got my
treating you like a
stories.
caveman or something, man.
I got my stories of being in the Afghanistan summer in them porta potties. No, it's not
Ooh,
fun,
wait,
brother.
you was in the war.
Nah, I
I
mean,
mean,
well,
you was in the military.
nah, I wasn't. I was a contractor out there, so same place, just
Oh
not no
yeah,
gun. I didn't have a gun, so
yeah, yeah. Man,
nah.
I
But
was thinking
yeah,
about going out there. I wanted to go out there and be a contractor, and people said it ain't what it used to be, but
yeah. To be honest, man, I have no reason to go back. Zero reason to go back. Yeah. So with you being where you are and your position as an owner, exclusively leased on owner operator, do you feel like do you support trucker unions? Is that something that even enters your thought process? How does that feel for you?
uh, no, it really doesn't enter my. I really don't even think about a truckers union. I think about what's the guy they had in the '60s, '70s,
Oh,
Hoffa,
Otis?
Jimmy Hoffa.
Oh,
Yeah, I think about them. You know, the union that they had, different things like that right there. But I just think that people, man, like we live in such a scam artist society. I
yeah,
don't know if that would be able to even go forth and be, you know, but it would be something that would be dope though. You know what I'm saying? To the point of like, hey, you get. Like they got the pipe fitters union, they got the welder union. They even got the the conductors, the train conductors. They
Right,
got
right, right.
unions and stuff like that. And even some of the places we go to, like them paper mills and stuff, um, they got unions and stuff like that. But man, I if it was like that, I'd probably join it.
No, I
But
hear you.
I ain't never really just thought about it. But if they did
Okay.
have one that I think that was, you know, of some count, I would probably join it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I don't, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think OIDA is considered a union. I think they're just more,
No,
on the regulation side of things, seeking to make the situation better for owner operators out here. So, but I don't consider them a union.
no, they ain't no union. I'm talking about Jimmy Hoffa,
Oh, I got you,
and they
brother.
and they can't even find him.
Right. Right, right. And look, this is one of the last topics that came up that I thought was worthy of the 2022 recap. It is from the Truckers Alliance. All right, so the Trucking Alliance is comprised of 11 mega carriers, and apparently they feel like is necessary to include hair follicle testing, and that those testing it for drugs, be sent over to the clearinghouse. Um, the FMCSA has denied that request, but I did want to ask you, like, do you have an opinion on that? Do you think hair follicle testing should be done? Do you feel like it's okay with what's currently being done? How do you feel?
Man, I really don't know because people gonna find a way to get around something. You see what I'm saying? If they had a hair follicle test, man, they'll probably be in here with wigs on, with toupees and stuff. You know, talking about, hey, take it from the top right here, man. The way you know, um, but man, people do some silly stuff, man, and they'll find a way around it. You know, um, I think that my real honest opinion is that the trucking industry is too regulated. Okay, I know you have a lot of, I know you have a lot of, you know, you got a lot of people that do crazy stuff. It's well, not a lot. It's some people that do some crazy stuff, but
Mm-hmm.
everybody ain't doing crazy stuff.
Right.
Everybody is not doing drugs. Like, uh, man, it's just too regulated. You know what I'm saying? That's why you got them people like Amy Witherite and all these different lawyers who can guarantee you money. Like if I was I can, dude. If I pass the bar tomorrow, I can go take the bar, pass the bar tomorrow. If I pass the bar tomorrow, open up me a law firm, I can go after trucking companies and sue them, and win just from the stuff that I know. Now I did. Now when I was in college, I did study criminal justice and forensic science. I had two majors, but at the
Okay.
same time, like I can go after these trucking companies because you are never 100% right. There's something that you're not doing the right way every day. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
And
Uh,
so I think it's too regulated, man. We can't even breathe, man. You know what
yeah.
I'm saying?
Okay, okay, and I definitely take that point. I mean, it is a very, very, very regulated industry. So much so that it's kind of hard for motor carriers, these small fleet owners, to stay on top of all the regulations, to stay in compliance. So I definitely agree with you there. Where'd you end up going to school?
I went to Alabama State. I went to Alabama State my first year. Boy, hey, let me tell you. Boy, when they told when I look, I was trying to go to college. I was trying. I grew up in the projects. I was trying to get out of the projects. Okay, I was like, man, if I want to just go anywhere. Okay,
Uh-huh.
and so when I got that letter in the mail and they said, hey, you have been accepted to Alabama State University. My mom used to work at Checkers. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I ran all the way down to Checkers, which was like half a mile. I ran all the way down to Checkers and told my mama, "Hey, mama, I just got accepted into Alabama State University." I'm like, "Yes." So, fast forward, we didn't have no internet back then to be able to look up stuff. Well, not like we do now, but so I
Right.
went, man, and we went to the we went during I went to orientation during the summer. Brother, I was out there during orientation, we done got lost. And I was like, where's the thing? I see the acadome right here, and I see the projects right here. And I'm like, wait a minute, is this school in the projects?
Mm-hmm. Man.
Oh boy! Hey, and so then after that, man, that first day of orientation, it was a shootout. I was outside with this girl playing basketball. It was a shootout in the projects. I said,
No.
boy, that thing went pow pow. Boy, we both hit the ground. I'm like, man, I'm gonna just have to stay in my dorm. But yeah, man, when school started, it was like, I thought I was doing something good. So I thought I was just stunting on some people. If anybody wants to visit me, I was like, no, just stay there. I'm good. Just stay there. Cause it ain't like what you see on TV. You know how you see Harvard and all these glorious schools. Well, I went over there thinking I'm about to. It
Hey,
was
I
a
hear you,
step
brother.
up.
I hear you. I mean, I got my brother-in-law ended up going to HBCU in Alabama too, and I think it was very similar experiences. You know what I mean? But we just hope for the best, that these places are able to get the funding, maybe even all the stuff that would bring prestige up to the college itself. So kind of
Yeah,
makes me even think about the whole Dion situation with Jackson State.
yeah,
Him being there definitely brought a lot more attention, a lot more dollars to that program, to the university. You know what I mean? So I'm praying that more big time celebrities or prime time people can show more interest in HBCU, so that standard can continuously elevate, and you don't have to, like, your next generation don't have to worry about the projects having a shootout right next to the school. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
I just pray that everything continues to elevate, and that him taking Deion Sanders having the ability to bring more notoriety to Jackson State's program, other people follow suit. So yeah, I feel you though, brother.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think Ray Lewis, man. I think he'll
Okay.
be a good. I think he'll be a good coach. I was thinking like, man, they need to put him. Which it was good that they had somebody from the inside. But I think Ray Lewis got that. He don't have it as much as Deion Sanders, but he's one of them people, man, who who can really pull people together.
Yeah, well
Yeah,
respected. He had a prime time like career as well, especially being at that position. I feel like cornerbacks, um, they have a little bit. It's different for them. I feel like it's more of a flashy position. Um, just like a wide receiver.
yeah,
I'm not playing favorites, but I would say like a linebacker. That's kind of like I got to do the dirty work.
yeah,
You know what I mean? So yeah, no, but he definitely had a stellar career for sure.
yeah,
Um, yeah. So just speaking about HBCUs, I happened to be scrolling down my LinkedIn timeline not too long ago, and it pleased me to see that there were some activities at Home Depot. I actually saw one of my homies, Jenna. She works for Home Depot, and they have this opportunity for kids that are still in college. They call it an externship. I don't know when they changed it from an internship to the externship. Maybe during the pandemic. But essentially, it's catered specifically for HBCU. So anybody that's listening to this right now, I am going to link, the website so that you can apply for that externship. Applications are currently open and they close at the end of January. But yeah, I mean, Home Depot is a huge company, lots of opportunity. So if it's something that is interesting to you, I would definitely tell you to apply. when I went to school, I ended up going to Georgia State University, and I don't know if everybody knows this, but Georgia State University graduates more African Americans than any other country. I mean, excuse me, any other university in the nation. Like, and they've been doing that for as long as I can remember. So, but I do remember when I was at Georgia State, having an internship really opened my eyes to different things. You know, I got a chance to intern with GE Healthcare, and that was my first real paycheck. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? It was just like, oh, you can do this, you can make this money. So again, if you're listening to this, even if this is not you, but you know somebody else that could benefit, I would definitely tell you to pass the information along. Again, I'm going to link this bad boy to the podcast itself. Um, Brother L Boogie, at this point, we've been on, man, for a solid hour. Is there anything that we didn't cover that you want to talk about right now?
Yeah, so most people don't know that, like you asked me like what all do I do earlier. I kind of skimmed over it or whatever, but most people don't know that, I'm always doing a whole bunch of things. So like right now I'm driving, you know, with both hands on the wheel with the
10 and 2.
with the 10 and 2 with a headset on, so I'm not holding the phone, okay? But when I stop this right here, guess what? I also got a marketing company as well, where I manage social media marketing company. I mean, I manage the profiles for of social media, and I also teach people how to utilize social media marketing to be able to get more exposure and to grow their business. So I do that as well. And so you can find more information about that on iamlarry.com. That's iamlarry.com. So have clients right now, and also my team is growing. I done hired 2 new people, so that's good right there. So I'm loving that. So a lot of the stuff that I'm not able to do because I'm driving, they can they can do, and so we handle the social media profiles for small businesses, corporations, churches, and politicians. And
And
so
politicians.
yeah, and politicians. So
Hey man, look, congratulations. That's amazing, brother. I'm very, very, very happy about your success. You being able to hire those folks. How does it feel being, hiring those people?
well, man, I love it, man, because I love to give people an opportunity to grow, and I love to teach as well. And so with me, hiring them, I'm able to teach them, um, and I'm able to, give back as well. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I love it. Everybody I've always hired, everybody has loved me. Even when I was doing, the restaurants or concession stands or whatever I was doing. Everybody that I work with, they love me. I can open up a restaurant right now and call the people back, and they will quit their jobs without a 2 week notice and come work for me. That's how well I treated them.
Oh,
So
up.
yeah, so yeah, I love to treat people well, and yeah, I mean, shoot, I like it. I love it. I want some more of it.
No, I respect it, brother. I respect it. Um, well, at this point, man, I just want to say thank you for your time, and also thank you for the inspiration. Back in the day, you talked to me about you being a published author. That right there really stuck with me. It's just like, man, I'm looking at this guy right here. He did it. I could write a book. I mean, but I never was that person to think about writing a book. But
Yeah.
I would say thank you because I'm about to publish my first situation, and it's I'm excited about it, man. So thank you for inspiring folks out here.
Yep, man. Hey, thank you too. I'm getting ready to drop another book as well. Actually, a few of them. And so,
Okay.
yeah, man. When your book comes out, you let me know. I'm not. You know what? People always be like, yeah, man, you'll see it on social media. I'm not a big social media guy, even though people think I am. You know, I don't like to. Like I post, I post and get off. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Don't
But I'm not on there
post, but you don't
scrolling.
scroll.
Yeah, yeah. I'm not on there feeling, oh man, look at Jorie. What he put on there today? You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, when it comes out, man, let me know, and I'll most definitely get a copy. I want a signed copy too. What it's gonna be about? Can you tell that?
Oh yeah, yeah, 100%. That same thing that you were just talking about teaching.
Mhm.
Just having this platform, I ended up having lots of conversations about dispatching, people wanting to be independent dispatchers, and me recognizing that the amount of time in the conversation was not enough to convey all the foundational information that I feel like is relevant to making those decisions when you're booking loads or just assisting a motor carrier. So it's the fundamentals to dispatching book. So that's
Yeah.
the premise. It's meant to give people a baseline. So with that, I feel like individuals who wanted to go dispatch for a corporation or for a motor carrier or to be their own independent dispatch service, they would have the baseline information and they could from there get additional trainings or advanced information like hazmat. They're not going to read this book and be like, oh, I can go dispatch hazmat, but they will be able to dispatch a drive-in. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So
When does it come out, and what's the price point?
the it's coming out soon.
Okay.
Think soon. I just need to finalize this dang on cover. That's the only thing that's really going on at this point. And
Yeah.
price point, price point. To be honest, if anything, if I could give it away for free, that's what it'd be. So I'm still deciding on the price point.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I
Yeah.
always tell people this right here when it comes to my book. I would give my book away for free, but guess what? I have to. I feed hungry kids. There are starving kids
One
around,
hundred
and
percent.
I have to feed them, and those starving kids are my kids, and so I have to feed them.
I hear you, brother.
Oh man, yeah, I
I
love
hear
it.
you. But like I said, because the information is so pertinent to the decision that the FMCSA just passed, kind of legitimizing dispatch services, we know that there's going to be even more independent dispatch services that pop up. And I really
Hmm.
just want this to be something that allows that transition to be smoother. So yeah, we'll see. It's definitely some game in there, and I also got to thank the transportation and logistics clubhouse community for being with me every step of the way because I've gotten a lot of game right here on these stages. To see how just to see how other people are doing and what the standard should be. So I definitely got to say thank you to the community out here.
Yeah,
But
most deaf, man.
yes, sir. Well, look, did you have any closing remarks?
Well, man, I don't, man. I really appreciate you having me on here, man. It was a plum pleasing pleasure. And once again, man, this is your boy L Boogie with the hoodie. You know, I'm blessing the Lord, highly favored, excited about the excited about the word of God. My cup is running over, and I still want some more. How about you? Don't forget to follow me at I am Larry Cothran. That's I am Larry Cothran, and you follow me at I am Larry on all of my platforms. Also, you can hit me up at my website, iamlarry.com. Follow me, and guess what? I probably won't follow you back.
I hear you, man. It's a lot of people, brother. It's a lot of people. So, but I appreciate you, of course, for sharing your time with me. And God bless you. God bless your business and those two new employees. Holla at me if there's ever anything I can do, brother.
Okay, groovy. Thank you
All
for the
right, man.
opportunity.
Anytime. Y'all have a blessed one.
All right, holla.